Hi, CD Bestie. I'm Sam Wills. Check out my interview at creativedisc.com, the #1 music website in Indonesia.
Hello, CD Bestie. Welcome back again to Creative Disc again with me, Nanack. Today we've got one of the UK's most exciting soul pop voices. You probably know him from the viral hit Traingazing and his debut album Breathe, which has over 450 million streams. And now he's back with his brand new album Speaks and the new single Voice Notes. As he gears up for 2026 Southeast Asia tour, please welcome Sam Wills.
Thank you so much.
Sam, welcome to Creative Disc. We're excited to have you here. How are you feeling right now with everything's going on?
Great, thank you. Yeah, Speak, my album came out on Friday, so it's been a bit of a whirlwind over the past few days. But it's been lovely. It's lovely to have the album out in the world. After all this time, it's been nearly 4 years from when I first started writing it. So yeah, it's amazing for it to finally be out in the world.
Okay, fantastic. First of all, congratulations on your new album Speaks. It's described as a story told in sequence from desperation and love to heartbreak, acceptance, and then moving on. Why did you decide to tell the story in order rather than just compiling songs, and how did it affect how you wrote the produce each track?
Well, I tell you what, I wrote all of the songs in a different order. But when it came to putting the track list together, I tried a few different ways, and then I realized I should put it in story order, even though the songs didn't necessarily happen in that order. It's the thread that felt right for listening through the album, and it's listening back to it. It all makes perfect sense, like for what I was going through, and at the time, and it's like a chapter of my life, and yeah, I love how it ended up being in that order. It works really well for me. So yeah.
Okay, I love that. How it feels like we're traveling through emotion with you. And speaking of about emotions, your latest single really captures that feelings perfectly. It's voice note, and talking about that voice notes.
Hmm.
When you listen back to it now, what kind of emotions came up for you personally?
Um, well, I often find releasing music once it's out in the world, it's almost like it's no longer mine. It's like giving it to the world, and it's cathartic to do that. It feels like the closing of a chapter. And so yeah, I feel great. I feel grateful, humble, and glad other people can now listen to it and enjoy it and maybe relate to it in some way as well.
Okay, that's beautiful. And the whole record really sits in that space of reflection and growth. Especially title track Speaks. It sits right at the heart of the message and feels like the emotional core to the albums. You've talked about being stuck focusing on what you hadn't achieved, something so many us can relate to. What helped you break out in the mindset and start appreciating where you were in the present moment?
Um, well, yeah, that at that time I felt like that. I felt like there was, that I describe it as the world was standing still, but just for me. Um, and yeah, that was quite a long chapter of my life, and whilst I was writing this album, so it was a common thread that kept appearing through the album. And um, it's yeah, now that I've written about it, it kind of helped me to go through it, and now I'm out on the other side. But yeah, it's difficult to know how to deal with those feelings when they come up, and I'm not sure. I've still kind of I don't have a definitive answer for how to deal with it, but writing about it sure has helped, and now I'm through the other side and feeling grateful. Who knows? Those feelings might come back again, but for now, I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay, let's moving on and let's talk about the artwork for a second. The cover shows a solitary figure surrounded by waves and light. What was that connection intentional, and what does the ocean represent to you within this record?
Well, there's a few reasons why it felt right to have the sea in the front cover. One, I live by the sea. I live in a town called Hastings on the southeast coast of England, and I'm forever surrounded by the sea. I'm very close to the beach and the seaside, so I'm often drawing from that kind of image when I'm writing. But also, there's something about the sea that is awe-inspiring, and it feels also quite empty sometimes. And uh, the image of being kind of in the middle of the sea with nothing around you is kind of partly the image that I drew from when making some of the songs on the album. So it felt right to me to have some sea imagery, some ocean imagery in the cover.
That's interesting. That image so much sense now, especially knowing how personal the process was for you.
Yes.
I read that you retreated to a cabin in the woods you built during your debut to create Speaks. How did isolation and that physical space affect the sounds and your state of mind during the process of it?
Sure. Well, I mean, yeah, as you say, I wrote it whilst I was making sorry, I built it whilst I was writing my first record. And for me, more than a place to write, and I didn't make the songs in the cabin. But what I would often do is when I wanted to get out of my usual headspace. It's quite an exhausting it can be quite an exhausting thing as a musician, constantly drawing on your own inspiration, constantly in your own head. Um, and there being kind of it's all quite vague and non-defined and abstract writing music. So sometimes I'll head down to the cabin to kind of take a break from being in my own head so much, and being in nature I find enables me to be present, because it's kind of being in nature feels relaxing, and you're able to kind of unwind, but also it's a place that's full of life as well. So it's a place to go and be present, maybe have a cup of tea or a coffee, and yeah, just kind of reflect and be in the present moment. That's what I find really helps me.
Okay, now shifting to something closer to my home. Southeast Asia has really fallen in love with your sound, and now you're finally bring that love to the tour next year. How does it feel
Yes, I hope so.
your music connects so deeply here?
Um, it's incredible. It's something I didn't expect or set out to do when I was writing my first album. But it's incredible to me that people over the other side of the world are listening to my music and enjoy it, and it's quite a magical thing, really, to have that. And I'm certainly hoping to come over next year and play some shows and connect the faces to the listeners, because at the moment it's such a I know that there are people over there listening to my music, but I want to connect with the people there as well, and play some music, and yeah, have some real connection. So I'm very excited to do that next year, hopefully.
That's interesting. What kind of experience do you want to bring to your fans here, especially in Indonesia?
Well, I mean, ideally, I'd like to blow them away with my live show, and hopefully they leave feeling joyous, and same for me. So yeah, I've got a great band. I've been working quite hard on this tour that I'm going on at the moment. I'm about to go on a European and UK tour. So the live show is coming together. So I hope to bring that out there with my band. and yeah, blow people away. That would be the plan.
Okay, nice. We cannot forget where you so much love began, the track called Traingazing that went viral
Yes.
globally. How did that moment change the way you approach your career and the kind of music you wanted to create next?
Mm. Well, when I wrote Traingazing, it was a slight departure from anything I'd released before. And it came together very naturally. I started it, it started when I was on the train to the studio, and I just came up with this idea, and I recorded it down on my phone very quietly because there were people on the train, so I'd looked quite strange recording these ideas. And yeah, so I made these voice notes on my phone to the studio, and wrote it pretty quick, came together, and it just felt right. It felt like a solid song, and I immediately knew I wanted to put it out as a single, and I did. And luckily, everyone else felt the same as I did, and it really connected with people, which you know. I felt like this, it was a good song, but that doesn't guarantee that everyone else will feel the same. So I felt very lucky, and as a result, it kind of, I try not to let songs that are more or less popular guide what I write in the future, because I think whatever I write should come from me and not be influenced by um, external factors. But of course, there's always a part that is thinking of the listener when writing. So yeah, I think it probably did impact the album that I've just released in some way, because I knew what people seem to connect with.
It's interesting to listen about the train gazings. That's a fun fact I want to tell you. Back in 2022, when I was doing my magister and I take my course at summer school in Bali back then, I bring
Cool.
and kids there. When I was studying, they going to Bali Zoo and they uh, creating the moments, and my wife making reels and using that train gazing.
Ah, amazing. Love that.
That's
Yeah, it did
how we know you from that song.
that that's amazing. Yeah, I think a lot of people discovered me through Reels, like the music on Reels. It was trending for a little while. So I think that was one of the big factors that spread the word about train gazing and my music in general. So that's really interesting. Love that.
I feel connected and I'm excited to have interview here with you. The guys,
Ah.
the train gazing, the train.
Love that. Well, I'm excited to be here too.
Okay. Uh, After the breakout like that, it's natural to reflect. Sometimes success early on can shift the way the artists see their art. How did the response to Breeze shift the mindset you brought into making Speak?
Um, Good question. I think having, like, knowing that people connected, or people seem to connect with the first album, and the fact that people are still listening now, um, it gave me some self-belief that what I was doing was okay, and connecting with people. So I think just the fact that people were still listening and still sending me messages kept me going, because sometimes when you're a musician, you can go through stages where you don't believe in yourself and your musical ability, and yeah, it's a tough industry to break through and to make noise when so many other people are trying to do the same thing. So to have that kind of little glimmer of belief and self-worth from the first album definitely helped me to finish this second album. So yeah, it influenced me quite a lot in that respect.
Okay, and now with all the growth, tours, and global attention, It's so easy to get caught up in the whirlwind, but I feel like you've stayed very grounded. What keeps you grounded and reminds you why you started making music in first place?
Um, for me, I think it's just because what I'm chasing is to have the highest level, best music possible. That's what drives me, more than um, anything else that comes with being an artist and being in the kind of, wouldn't say I'm in the public eye, but you know what I mean. I'm an artist. I'm having to be present on social media, and but that's not what drives me. What drives me is the music, and I think that will always be the case for me. Um, so I guess that's how. Just yeah, pushing forward and making the best music I can.
Yeah, okay, I love that perspective. Finally, my last question. You've given us breathe and now speak, two very human actions. One's about presence and the other about the expressions. If breathe was about the inhale and speak the exhale, what comes next in that cycle for you as an artist? Maybe one another sense to explore, like see, listen, or feel as part of your bigger pentalogy, maybe?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this, and yeah, I thought it would be funny if the next one was like scream or shout or something. um, but I probably won't do that. But yeah, it's a good question, and I think it's too early for me to tell what's coming next. When I wrote Speak, I thought I needed to have some sort of idea of what it was going to be about and what direction I was going to take it. But the reality was that I had no idea, and I just wrote tracks, just wrote songs with no expectation, and it just happened to turn into this tangible thread of feelings that I was feeling at the time and things that were going on, as it should be, I guess. I'm writing about my experience in real time, and sometimes you can't work out what that is until you look back on that time period. So who knows? Maybe it will be a listen or a touch or a taste or I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay. All right, Sam, before we wrapped up, let's end with something fun. Imagine Speak as a movie about your life right now. What free song from any artist would be on that soundtrack?
Wow. Um, well, there's one track that always hits me in the feels, and that would be Restacks by Bon Iver. That would have to be on there. Um, I would have to have some sort of Michael Jackson moment, maybe Off the Wall. I'm not sure which one. There could be loads from that album, but yeah, early Michael Jackson, one of his early hits. So it would have to be in there. And what else? Wow, there's too many songs. It's tricky. I would say let's go with Dream Police by McGee.
Okay.
That would be
In-
my third.
Interesting choice. Sam, so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. Congrats again on Speak, and we cannot wait to see you here in Southeast Asia next year. This has been Creative Disc. I'm Nana. We'll wait to see you the next one. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Nanack. Thank you.